Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Once again, bring you another Company vs. 2 replay brought to you by... Now I know what you're thinking. You see on the bottom hand side, you see Delta, Collateral, aka Collateral, my brother Greyshot 151, who some people think is me, and then Tank Killer. You're like, oh god, did one of those guys send this game in? Hey, if you're not gonna cast my game, why are you casting your friends' games? That's not fair. So... thank you, Robbie. Robbie is the person who submitted this replay, and I love the fact he only has 2 commanders, so this is amazing. But this is a Company vs. 2 match that has an enemy team sending their replay in versus my brother, and my brother has not said a word about this game, so I cannot wait to cast and say how bad my brother is. Or good, you know. I want to say bad, but he could be good, but let's be frank here. Probably not going to happen. In any case, if you want to submit a replay, you can do so via my YouTube channel. Just go to my Gmail or Facebook, submit it in. We have Army Training, Robbie, and Iron Monkey versing, of course, core group of Greyshot Productions. Some good guys, but, yeah. Delta, I know, is a newer guy. Tank Killer came back, and, hey, I'm just, glad everything's positive. You see a positive chat. This is a 3v3 in case you're wondering on Angermute. Long range, pretty much streets, pretty much encompass this map. Very urban, lots of pretty much buildings and whatnot to put your infantry in. And yeah, the fuel munitions pretty far back mostly. I know the munitions point here and over here. You might be saying, oh, Greyshot's near the front. But judging how actually the building structure is and the map design, it's very easy to hold these points and make sure that you keep those points. It's really a battle over the stars that's more wide open. We'll see right now. Delta is, again, we have an American, a Soviet, and a British guy, 2 OKW, and a Wehrmacht. Let's see how things go. We have Army Training, pretty much hiding behind the car with Pioneer Squad MG. We have a rifleman here and a mortar moving up, but not for some time. So the riflemen right now are going to fight the MG by itself. That MG is going to win. Conscripts coming in for the flank. I'm assuming my brother's trying to alleviate this side, help him out. Although Iron Monkey's coming in to flank my brother, so it's a flank on a flank on a flank. Works out just great. So anyway, for those who don't know, all these guys will line up on a line. They're easy to hit, and even though they're in decent cover, should be just fine to take them out. Now, what? Yeah, MG's now in the building, so should be able to easily suppress these guys, and yeah, cause a lot of havoc for a lot of these infantry. Though flamethrower, very nice attachment, could be good for killing the guy in the building if you got close enough, which you probably can. Rifleman rushing up. Do you have a grenade by chance? Yes, you do. Thank you, Delta, for getting a goddamn grenade. I don't understand why no one gets grenades. It really annoys me. And GTA. Now, British infantry moving up. TK's trying to hold this position. Nice MG. Though, we don't have the connecting points. So right now, the Axis are not getting fuel worthy. Actually, I could say the same thing about... actually, both sides, Axis and Allies, have not connected. So... yeah, things are not going well. Need that fuel. Need that fuel. Both squads pushing up, trying to overwhelm the British infantry, which they could very easily do. Both British infantry are down. The MG is the thing keeping them back right now and allowing some pressure to be taken off. Middle has been secured by Delta. The MG's still there. He could deploy a smoke, but it looks like he's trying to rush to that building. Conscript's trying to rush in. Not... wow, you're trying to get in the building, really? What are you doing? Oh, okay, you're sneaking around. Okay, not a bad strategy. My brother, yeah, put an MG in this building to lock this area down. Again, make sure they can't grab the munitions and hold this key center point and this, oh, fuel cache. Okay, my brother put a fuel cache. The Axis have yet to put anything down, so the Allies are getting a huge fuel boost. Also, it helps that it's connected. Compared to the Axis, that, once again, kind of forgot. Let's see, Iron Monkey's bringing up his truck. If I was him, I would probably put a medical down so he could reinforce his position. On the left-hand side, TK still trying to hold him back. You have multiple British infantry squads. I'm assuming he's trying to go heavy British infantry, which can work if you get the upgrades in the Brens. Now, have you gotten any of that? Yes, you got the bolster infantry squads. Of course, you get the full men, which makes them very, very powerful in heavy cover. Now, all you need is that extra equipment, and they are... essentially, especially if you give them like all Piats and Brens, some of the most powerful infantry in the game. They rival Obersoldaten and Rangers and paratroopers. Just very, very powerful infantry. But that's if you get all the upgrades for them. Otherwise, they start off and they're really more defensive-oriented type play, where if you get all those upgrades, they will go to town on the enemy. Now, speaking of going to town, looks like well, yeah, Collateral doesn't really have much in mid. They have 2 mortars, which is great for killing infantry, but it helps to have infantry on the front supporting them. So, of course, a Volk squad doesn't walk up and say, "Hey, what's up, man?" and literally is shooting them point blank. So, there's that. Wow, that guy freaked out a little bit. Grenadier squad moving up. Riflemen in the building. Looks like they're trying to push him back. MG trying to rush up. I'm assuming trying to get in this building. Can they stop him? Nice rifle grenade, but looks like it didn't do all that much to kill the unit, so it did do a lot of health. Now, rush up and throw grenades. You have plenty of munitions. That's all you need to do. And chuck. And you couldn't throw the grenade. Okay, smoke. Or not. My brother's using the artillery ability. Most likely try to break him here. Good idea. Wow, the pole stops the shot. Grenadier squad with the MG just annihilating my brother. Now let's see. Robbie went special operations. Nice smoke to stop the MG from shooting them. This is good for a lot of support tactics for infantry, and the Command Panther helps out with armor. Assault support doctrine, very nice. Get a lot of resources very quickly if you can, you know, deploy a lot of cargo trucks. This map is actually very good because there's a lot of points in the back that you can easily protect, so that allows your trucks to, well, pretty much survive. And then, of course, Tiger and all the abilities you get from, you know, all those added resources. Delta went heavy cavalry. Pretty good to get heavy infantry. Get the Pershing tank, which is pretty good. And Tank Killer has not picked anything yet, nor has Iron Monkey or my brother. But we shall see. Army-wise, let's see. They're in the probably low 30s. Allies are low 30s as well. So pretty even there. TK, how are you doing? Putting down a fuel cache, make sure they don't decap that point. Not a bad idea. We have a medical truck here, so he's just going to keep reinforcing. And I'm assuming he might get a support gun trying to push you out of there. But we shall see. Oh, you have a mortar emplacement. Okay, very nice. In the middle between your army and the American army, so that way you can try to break them up here. Looks like my brother's really trying to focus in mid, not really guarding his side. Good and bad. Bad because, of course, he's not putting pressure on the one guy over here, so I'm assuming he's going to pretty much ramp up artillery, kind of use this as a staging point. The bad news, of course, is all the extra pressure in mid, which is probably why he's having such a hard time really holding this position, but we shall see. Mortars coming in, try to push out that MG. Very curious to see what Collateral is going to try to do. Again, smoke would be something I would recommend, because that way you could smoke it, you could get close, but it doesn't seem like he's doing that. I know you also have the smoke ability right here, but it's 50 compared to what, 15? Yeah, 15. It's really makes more sense to just fire the smoke grenade and get close. So right now, oh, okay, Iron Monkey went actually a decent doctrine for this map only. Otherwise, I really hate this doctrine. The 105 howitzer barrage is pretty good, but the Jaeger infantry can cause disruption problems behind enemy lines. You can deploy that, hide, and then come up from behind and do a lot of damage. There's so many buildings, that's why you can just deploy them. Now, if, of course, every single position is heavily fortified, then it's really not going to do anything, because their guns aren't really that powerful, and it'll take forever to kill a fuel cache. So, or, you know, munitions, any sort of cache. We still have the AT gun here. Again, this guy's just testing grounds. Like, he tried to move up with his MG. Why are you... Maybe it was being hurt in the building, not sure. MG on standby. Looks like they were trying to put a mine, but then they ran into the MG. Flamethrower unit coming in. I would put the mine there, honestly. But yeah, he's coming around with a lot of Volk squads. Managed to kill an American mortar, looks like. So, very nice job. Mortar team seem to be actually counter-firing. They're using the ambulance as a staging ground, but my brother and Delta are going to have a hard time. Also, I probably should note that... Wait, can this grenade get a kill? Nope. And misses as well. Very nice. So, nice job with the ambulance. You could use the staging ground and launch an offensive at mid. Problem is, it looks like we have Panzer Grenadiers, so we went the light armor corps. So that could be a problem. Again, you get that burning half track. You pretty much burn all the allied infantry out. Are you doing that? No. Yeah, the light mechanized is good, but I'm actually curious why you went that if you're not going to try to burn them out, because typically that's what I see with this. You try to burn through enemy lines. Now, you're putting down supply trucks. Very nice. We can see here that's actually affecting him decently well. So we jump over to here. He has 36 fuel instead of what the rest of them have is 29. So not bad for the Wehrmacht player. Half track being deployed. Do you have anything to counter that? You really don't, and that could be a big problem. Though you have the upgrade, I understand Tank Killer, you're trying to rush for that armor, but also Hammer is good because, again, you're getting comets, alright? You're getting 38 fuel per turn. Very good. But right now, I'm seeing out of everyone, no one has a damn tank. And that's the fundamental issue that is currently going on. There's no armor. There's nothing you guys are producing. Nothing that in the staging ground? Absolutely not. You guys aren't upgrading for a major. My brother doesn't have any light armor to speak of, and looks like he's saving up a ton of fuel. And Tank Killer is rushing up for heavy. Every 1, 2, 3, they're all saving up for big heavy stuff, which is you can't do. One person has to have armor of some type, otherwise it can lead to issues on the battlefield, and right now we have that issue. Now luckily this MG has armor piercing rounds, so it should be able to kill this thing if it focuses fire on this instead of, well, the giant blob over here. Nice mortar, by the way, doing a lot, and the AT gun, although hitting a lot of fences, got a nice kill. MG probably just gonna fall back to heal, so just take a few seconds. Round Engineers being a decoy for the half track to position its gun away so it can heal and then redistribute. Not a bad plan. I think it already hardened, so oh yeah, the fire grenade is probably going to kill it. Middle of the game, we have American infantry rolling up with an fighting position. Nice mine placement. Again, prevent the allies from really pushing up. Rifle grenade coming in and misses. A little bit of damage, but mostly misses. Brother having a hard time on the right. Probably has to redistribute his men. Although he has the mortar kind of supporting left. He has the AT gun that was on the left. And he doesn't really have a lot of frontline infantry. A little bit. But yeah, he really needs to focus more on the right and try to put some more pressure here, because the fact that this position is so far up could be a big issue for flanking. Although I love the fact it's right next to a mine, so you detonate that, everything blows. Yeah, so let's see. We have a lot of British infantry. Once again, Bren's Tank Killer, you have 400 munitions. 400. You can upgrade that with better weaponry. This guy's doing pretty well, and again, he has all his units upgraded with STG-44, so they're going to be really effective against the enemy. Compared to, well, this, and although they're decently effective, they just don't have that edge. They don't have the Mojo Jojo to the Beatles, so they're not gonna win. Yeah, get that reference for you. Anyway, Volk squad coming in with a nice fire grenade, hurting the fighting position. Again, burning it, trying to remove it from play. Mortars coming in, should be able to remove it. Nice MG kills the squad before they can retreat. And overall army size, we look 46, 38, 52. So mid-40s compared to 29, 36, and 43. So mid-30s. Things are not going well for the Allies. They really need to turn the tide. Now, Tank Killer is very close to getting a very heavy armored tank. So that could really help. Delta has yet to get a... Well, actually, no. Delta, have you gotten a major? You have not. So he's saving up for the Pershing, which is a rookie mistake. Because again, you're going to get way more. You're going to get enough fuel to where you can play the major, an armored vehicle, and still be fine with that. Throw a grenade, maybe. My brother is trying to save up for an IS-2, and once again, that's not going to work because it's 13 points. So, shock troops were going in, trying to massacre them on their retreat. Seems to be working out just fine for them, not the shock troops. Shock troops did very little. Mortar teams coming in with all sorts of artillery, trying to break up the Allied forces. And as you can see here, they're going to try to rush up with that headquarters building. It's going to provide some protection, so the shock troops won't be able to, well, annihilate it. Also, we still have the MG over here, so that's an issue, suppressing them. Once again, smoke would help, but alas, that is simply not the case. Tank Killer actually makes some decent offensives over here, though he has to reman, and that's going to cost him. Actually, all that manpower to recost here, as you can see, he has more than enough fuel to get himself a Comet. The problem is, he is probably going to rather, instead of waste all the manpower, just get an armored vehicle, which could hold the front line in a very bad position, because now he has to wait. Why the hell are you in that tiny little building with that MG? I don't know. I would be back in this one if I was you, but we'll see how things go. Rifleman going in mid, very close to ending the game via points, so my brother needs to turn the tide. somehow, let's see, he's 700 manpower. Once again, brother, you're just showing that you like the manpower horde. I'm just pointing that out. Just saying. American infantry going in. Rangers leading the way. They could very easily take the point, dropping off map smoke, or deploy a goddamn smoke grenade. Man, this is fun making fun of my friends. Yeah, enough mortar fire just tearing apart their infantry very quickly. And my brother is getting an MG to help support, but I don't think that's going to help. Fire would be wonderful right here. There we go. I knew you would call it in. And then my tank killer calling in concentration barrage. Very good, especially if you tie it in with... Oh, wait, you went... Oh, right. Hammer, not anvil, so you don't get air burst. That's what this is used for. By the way, air burst, do extra damage, kill this. Just saying. Comet's about to deploy. That could really help turn the tide, help hold the left-hand side. And then all you guys need to do is really focus in mid, and you're fine. But it looks like... Ooh, American Delta lost a lot of men in mid. My brother has a beaten down force. A demo would actually be really great right here, because you know he's going to charge up. You're going to do demo? You're not going to do demo. You're going to charge. Oh, no. You just... Oh, okay. Nice. Scare him off. Very good. Very good. Infantry rolling up. And once again, you have the MG in the worst position possible. So, of course, this blob's just going to go around. Now, the Comet could rush up and run over them. That would be cool. But alas, it's not going to happen. Again, this building is freaking terrible. It has one window and very easily killable. It sucks. Don't put your units in there. Seriously. Comet's going to roll up. I don't think he has really any defenses. Actually, Tank Killer could annihilate this guy if he used effectively. He has one for Kenworth in this building. Sure. But if you use enough that artillery thing over on here, you could push him out and then kill this base and then push over here. Most likely you kill this MG, use it to hold back the enemy group. Bob, bing, bob, boom, you win the game. At least on this front. Middle, it's more dicey. Unfortunately, we have a guy who keeps blobbing, collateral, and whose enemy artillery is essentially wiping him left and right. Again, he's blobbing right here, so... Really? Oh, Panzer IV being deployed. Comet would have probably won, and I love how he had the Verkenwood for 2, so yeah, that probably would have pushed him back. Probably they lost because they realized, like, hey, they can't win the game. Even though, technically, Tank Killer was doing pretty fine. He probably would have staged a decent comeback. Problem is just mid. And I think I went over numerous problems that they were having. Right now, supplies were going in pretty damn well for the Axis. Again, also supply trucks probably would have been called in. And they were calling in their own armor. Whereas the good old Allies were waiting in for that heavy armor. They're like, guys, we don't need T-34s. We don't need Su-76s. We don't need Shermans. We can just save up for the heavy tanks. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That is a wrong call. Always make sure that at least one person is going for the light or medium armor. No one did. So, of course, the enemy just started rapidly deploying heavier infantry and just slowly beat them until they got the armor and whooped their butts. If they actually would have deployed some armor, they probably could have turned the tide. But they didn't do that. No. They wanted to save for the heavy armor, and that cost them too little. Well, actually, that cost them pretty much the whole game. Let's look at damage. Robbie Kardashian, not a ton of damage or kills. Again, that goes to Army, who did a pretty damn good job pushing on mid. Again, he was taking the full brunt, which is why he had so many kills. Robbie was fighting TK, and he did pretty well. I think TK probably would have swept in there toward the end of the game. My brother got most damage, although TK got most kills. Again, my brother did a lot of artillery stuff, which is why I probably got a little bit more damage on the enemy, but not necessarily killing them because they were in buildings. Ergo, the difference in kills compared to TK, who managed to actually knock out quite a few times Volk squads. Delta, you did pretty good, though I feel like you, again, judging by the amount you lost, it kind of makes sense. You really threw your men out, and I feel like more smoke grenades really would have helped you. TK, equipping your infantry with Brenz and Piats would have been great, and 151 just being as good as 117, and using the glorious B4 would have saved you, but of course that didn't happen. Now, on the enemy team, I would say Robbie, I feel like more AT probably would have been... Actually, no, you had 2 for Kenworth first. Actually, you were doing pretty well. I really wouldn't have changed all that much. Iron Monkey, so probably locking the area down a little bit better, I feel like. Although you launched decent assaults against my brother, but again, you weren't able to hold it. I know it's difficult, but I'm just saying. And then Army, fantastic job holding mid. You did a really, really good job at fighting 2 people and actually holding your ground. Again, he held that point for majority of the game, so I have to give him credit where credit is due. But in any case, that is game. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And before I go, I want to thank my Patreon supporters like Sean, Leo, Tim, and Hercules. Thank you so much for your awesome support. You guys rock. If you want to support me, you should go check out my Patreon. Seriously, thank you guys so much. But in any case, it's been Greyshot 17, and I'll see you all next time.